Everybody, time for my little fireside chat about the most recent presidential debate. First, I want to thank Ross for braving the living room and Aunt Jackie and I to watch the debate, and for being a good political science major. He was able to give us some of the nuances that we might have missed in some of the background information. And there's hope for you liberal Republicans yet. You know you're not a Republican. Cut it out. Maybe independent. I'll go for that. McCain always manages to say something that just makes my skin shiver, you know, my hair stand up on end. And the thing tonight that he said was when he referred to Barack Obama as that one, okay? It was totally rude. It's really upsetting to me that Mr. McCain can't look at him, apparently can't even speak his name, which happens to be Senator Barack Obama. You might want to remember that for the next debate. And you might want to remember it because you may eventually be calling him President Barack Obama. I think in that one simple moment, singly, is when McCain showed his ass tonight. And showed it well. I mean, you know, again, people who are staunch Republicans are not going to believe that that was condescending at all. They're just going to be like, oh, well, you know, he talks like that on the stump, so it's okay if he talks like that now. No, it's not okay for him to talk like that anywhere. The stump, a debate, a news show, anywhere. It's impolite, it's condescending, and I dare say that that one may very well have referred to the fact that he's one of those guys. Black guy. Yeah, watch out for them. They might actually run the country better than that dumbass Texan. Maybe. Why did Senator McCain not mention his running mate at all tonight? Now, understand that Barack didn't mention Joe either. But he also didn't mention Hillary Clinton. Okay? I mean, Joe Lieberman is like McCain's buddy, and probably should have been his running mate if if John McCain would have had his way. Instead, he got stuck with Sarah Palin, which I actually feel sorry about that because she's kind of loony. She's off a rocker for sure. I think I want to hear a little more about this buying up bad mortgages stuff, okay? As far as I'm concerned, that does no good for me because I didn't buy a mortgage that was based on a predatory loan. My mortgage was a standard mortgage with a decent mortgage payment, a very good mortgage payment, really, for today's type of mortgage payments. But because of illness and loss of job due to illness, I can't afford my mortgage. So is he going to help me, or am I just not special enough? Did I not screw up enough to get the help that he's given to the other people who just got a mortgage that they couldn't afford? Imagine that. Why does Mr. McCain insist on correcting people to say rescue plan instead of bailout? Let's just call, quote unquote, a spade and say it's a bailout. That's exactly what it is. There's no rescue involved in any of this. This is, I guess you could call it a rescue if you consider that he's just wanting to try to save his friends. You know, yeah, it's not Keating 5 and oh well, but these are his buddies. There was a question asked by a woman who said, you know, how can we as a people trust the government to use our money in a proper fashion? How can we trust them to do that? And I found it interesting that Barack said, well, you know, I can understand your frustration and your fear of trusting us because we really screwed things up. But instead, what McCain did, let's see, he said that his record didn't have anything to do with the answer to the question, but he made sure that he pointed out that his record was less liberal than Barack Obama's. Yeah, that's an easy inference considering one is a Democrat and one is a Republican. Spending freezes. Well, that's going to frighten a lot of people when McCain is calling for a spending freeze on everything but defense spending and veterans affairs, help for veterans, which I appreciate because my husband's a veteran and I have many friends who are veterans. But the only problem with that is that I am also someone who suffers an illness who hopes that one day I might be able to retire, quote unquote, and be able to receive disability for all of the years that I've worked my ever-loving butt off, and people who are worse off than me, who really absolutely cannot get out of bed and go to work every day, and they won't be able to get the help that they need because they won't be able to get on Medicaid or Medicare because there's a spending freeze. They won't be able to get the disability, which already takes 5+ years to get, and you've got to not work during that course of time, and all that's going to be locked down when there are other places that money could indeed be cut. And how about those elderly on Medicare? Yeah, they might be a little frightened because they're already having trouble paying the co-pays with the changes that were made to Medicare a couple of years ago, where they have to buy secondary insurance to cover what Medicare won't. And they're suffering for that. I know just my little recent stint in the hospital, a 1.5-week stay, just the hospital bill, not including any doctors, tests, or anything like that, was $39,000. Read my lips. $39,000. All because I got pneumonia. Yeah, that's how it goes. And so everybody else gets screwed except for the defense budget and VA. Good job. I get the whole thing about McCain wanting to have people to have the freedom to go to other states and buy insurance in these other states if they can get it for cheaper. That's all fine and good. And yes, like Barack says, these companies will go to some place where there's less regulation and set up shop. So that's something that has to be federally regulated so that everybody's on the same playing field. But also understand that if it's not federally regulated, what will happen is the health care that I buy from Arizona, which is much cheaper, will then not be useful to me here in Florida because it won't be accepted by my doctors. It won't be accepted by my specialists or my hospitals. It won't be accepted. Then a whole lot more people will be still unable to get the health care that they need and have paid, let's say, 6-8 months, a year, 2 years for health benefits that they, through all that time, were not able to use. And I appreciate Aunt Jackie bringing that note up. Okay, I'd like to point out a little contradiction with Mr. McCain. Not too awful long ago, he said that he would follow bin Laden to the gates of hell to get him, okay? You can't say that you would follow him to the gates of hell and then not say that if Pakistan was unwilling or unable to go after bin Laden and he was sitting on the border of Pakistan and we go get him, that we're quote-unquote attacking Pakistan. Yeah, no, you can't have it both ways, sorry. I think they both finished off cleanly, not exactly answering the question about what don't you know and how would you learn it. I mean, they gave good answers for most people, but I'm kind of a pain in the ass and I want to know more. I'm really glad to see that Tom Brokaw kept trying to get them to stay on task because they kind of ran amok in the last debate. So hopefully the next debate they'll be a little more aware of their lights. Overall, I thought it was kind of a sucky debate. It was better than the first one. I felt like in some ways the town hall meeting type thing was better for Obama because with McCain wandering around, I mean, he's shuffling like an old man. I realize he has injuries, don't jump on me about that, seriously. But not only does he have injuries, he's also a 70-some-odd-year-old man. I'm hoping for a better debate down in Hofstra. Woohoo, Hofstra, go Long Island. And we'll see how the fact check goes tomorrow, because again, there were a lot of missed facts, a lot of misleading remarks, and a lot of BS, really. So we'll see you next time. Okay, thanks. Bye.